Hi students, welcome back to Odelia Vlogs. How was your vacation? So this is the first video in January 2023. Happy New Year to all. Today I am going to teach you Taylorism, that is Scientific Management by Frederick Winslow Taylor. We can go to the session. Scientific management is proposed by F.W. Taylor, that is Frederick Winslow Taylor. In scientific management, he focuses on individual efficiency and productivity. Taylor applied scientific principles to find the one best way to do a job. So we can move on to the next slide. He is known as the father of scientific management. F.W. Taylor was an American mechanical engineer and also a management consultant. His contributions towards scientific management is described in two parts. One is elements and tools of scientific management, and the next one is principles of scientific management. Elements and tools of scientific management includes the following: scientific task setting. I will teach each and every points in detail. First one is scientific task setting. A standard task means it's a quantity of work which an average worker can perform under ideal standard conditions in one day. It's generally called a fair day's work. That is, for every worker, standard task should be set after a detailed scientific study. Next point is work study. F.W. Taylor broke up human activities into smaller parts and found out how it can be done effectively in less time and with increased productivity. Taylor's work study techniques include method study, motion study, time study, and fatigue study. Method study is conducted to know the best method of doing a particular job. Motion study is conducted to study the movements of a machine or a machine operator. Time study is an art of observing and recording the time required to do each detailed element of an industrial operation. Fatigue study is a study related to the physical or mental condition of the workers caused due to long working hours without any rest. Next point is standardization of tools and equipment. Standardization of tools and equipment is very important element in scientific management because Taylor always wanted to use the best way of doing the work. So proper tools and equipments are very essential for increasing the speed of the work. If the tools are not proper, the work will be delayed. Next, scientific selection and training. Here, the workers are selected by considering their education, their experience, and their attitude towards work. Workers should be given proper training so that they can perform their jobs very effectively. Next one is differential piece wage plan. Under this plan, there are two piece work rates. One is lower and the other is higher. If a worker finishes work within the standard time or if he produces more than the standard output within the standard time, he will be paid more. But if a worker is performing below the standard, he will be given lower piece rate. Next is introduction of functional foremanship. According to Taylor, the two functions, that is planning and doing, that should be separated. The planning section should concentrate on planning the task and issuing instructions to the workers for implementing them. Taylor suggested 8 functional specialists, first 4 attached with planning and the next 4 with doing the work. Seventh point is mental revolution. Taylor stood for creating a change in the mental attitude of workers and management towards each other. A feeling of suspicion always will create misunderstanding, so it should be ruled out. Mutual understanding and cooperation between management and workers is an essential aspect for this mental revolution to be solved. Next, we can go to the principles of scientific management. First one is replacing rule of thumb with science. What is rule of thumb? It is the application of methods decided by the manager based on his past experiences or personal judgments. But scientific management always put pressure on scientific rules. Instead of rule of thumb, Taylor used scientific methods which will always denote precision in determining any aspect of work, but rule of thumb always emphasizes on intuition. It's based on our just judgment. It can be or may not be implemented properly, because once we implement, sometimes it will not give proper results, but science will always give the correct result. Second one, scientific selection, training and development of workers. Work can be developed through scientific selection and providing the workers training at the working place. Thereby, the workers also can be developed very well and they will be very efficient. Next point is cooperation between management and workers. Scientific management is based on mutual confidence, cooperation, and goodwill. So, mutual understanding leads to cooperation. Mutual understanding is very essential in every organization. Sorry. Next is maximum output. Scientific management involves continuous increase in production and productivity instead of restricted output. They always believes on continuous increase in production. The last point is equal division of responsibility between management and workers. The workers and management, they both have equal responsibility and they should do their job very well depending upon the responsibilities given. Now we can go to the next slide, that is the criticisms of scientific management. Actually, Taylor led to the foundation for scientific management as a separate discipline, and his movement was very much significant in productivity and remuneration of workers. But still there were a lot of criticisms, just like first one, exploitation of workers. Scientific management put unnecessary pressures on the employees to perform work faster, as importance was given on productivity and profitability. This resulted in the exploitation of employees. Second one, problem of unity of command. Workers had to report to 8 bosses, so there were much confusion and chaos in the organization. Third one is mechanical approach. Taylor gave too much importance to efficiency, but he did not consider the human element. He considered workers as machines, which could speed up the work at any cost, just like a robot. So Taylor never felt people as he always felt people as machines. Since he was a mechanical engineer, that was a drawback. Next, problem of separation of planning from doing. Taylor said to separate planning from doing, but in reality, we cannot separate planning from doing. This created monotony among the people in the organization. Next one is individualistic approach. Scientific management gives too much importance to individual performance and not to group performance. For any success of an organization, individual performance is not at all important. Group performance is most important, because the success of the organization depends upon group performance of the workers. Next is wrong assumptions. Taylor assumed that workers are motivated only by financial gains, but it's not true. In reality, workers are motivated not only by financial incentives, but also by social needs and personal egos too. The last criticism is narrow application. Taylor's scientific management can be applied only in the production sector, not in the service sector. Because in service sector, performance of a person cannot be measured quantitatively. So Taylor's scientific management can be applied only in areas just like factories where the productivity, the performance can be measured quantitatively. So this is the end of scientific management. And if you have any doubt, you can post in the comment box. Thank you.